two. Hi, my name is Robin B.
I'm Kay.
And we're here from the Chatter once again. Thank you so much for being with us. And please like, share, and subscribe. Please push that button. Yeah. But
And for
anyway,
entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, entertainment purposes only for sure. But we're going to talk about when plans don't go right.
Yeah, when the plans you made don't pan out the way you want them to. What do you do? How do you feel?
Yeah, what do you do? How do you feel? Well, first of all, I'm like a person who always wants to be on time. So I just relax, I guess. That's the only thing you can do, right?
I don't know. Sometimes I can laugh about it. Sometimes I get frustrated about it. And sometimes, I'm just like, okay, it's gonna happen. It's just been delayed, kind
it's
of
just
thing.
being delayed. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's that just been delayed that catches me off guard. I guess I don't have that much patience or what have you.
I know, I'm the same way. So I'm like waiting. I'm like, okay, this didn't work out, so let me do something different.
Yeah. And that, I guess it has to do with waiting. I'm not a good waiter.
Me either.
Is that a word? Wait, I'm not whatever it is.
I definitely get frustrated over waiting. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And that's why I always try to be on time. Other people.
I try to be, but I'm usually late, and it's not, and I know it frustrates people.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, Kay.
But I'm just as frustrated trying to get there.
I know, and that's. But when I was younger, I used to be late all the time, and then I understood why it was so important to be on time. And I even my appointments and stuff, I always try to be earlier than later. But it's just me now. I just like to be basically on time.
I get that. I get it. But I'm whacked out where if I get there early or on time and you don't take me at that time, I'm upset.
You want to be late, but you want them to be on time.
Yeah. I got into it time. I had a doctor's appointment. I arrived 20 minutes early. My appointment time came. 10 minutes after that, they brought me in the back, and 20 minutes later is when the doctor showed up. And I was heated by then. I was like,
so you were. He was like, you want him to be on time, but you were late.
Yes. So, he was like, how you doing today? I said, I'm pissed. He was like, that's nice. What did you say? I said, I am pissed. He's like, what are you upset about? I said, you are already at work. I'm trying to get to my job, and you being late made me late.
Well, you know what? That's a good point that you brought up, because a lot of people, and that's why they're suing doctors now for being late, because they don't respect your time.
Okay.
They don't respect your time. That's true. Like, they think that you got all the time in the world,
Yeah.
Like you get there, your appointment is, one of my doctors is really good with it. Believe me. If you have an appointment at 12:30, you're in there by 12:30.
Okay.
And he's really good. But the other ones, sometimes, like you said, they feel like they're entitled to do whatever they want. So you can sit there for like an hour and it's okay, but they're not considering your time. So people are now starting to sue doctors for that, because like you said, I have to go to work. Okay. Yeah. I made this appointment during my lunch hour. I made this appointment, this, that,
before I had to get to work.
Yeah. Exactly. I have to do this. So, that's kind of messed up, actually. Yeah. And a lot of people are now suing their doctors for that.
Wow.
I'm not giving out no advices, but I'm just
no. But one of my doctors has a sign that straight up apologizes. It's like, look, I will give you the same attention to detail that is detaining me from getting to you on time. That's not the way he worded it, but that's what he means. So I can get that. You know, when he's a couple of minutes late, plus he's cute. When he's a couple of minutes late, I don't have a problem with it.
That's not a couple of minutes, 15 minutes is not a big deal. But when you talk about a half an hour,
Or
45 minutes,
hour.
it gets ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah,
Because now
yeah,
you're not considering my time. And I do
yeah,
have time.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Maybe I have another appointment,
yeah.
you
And
know?
that happens, you know.
Exactly.
So but
It's not considered. And that's why people
no,
are suing these people for their time. I don't know
yeah.
whether it went anywhere, I'll be honest with you. I didn't follow it to that extent. But I'm
Mhm.
just saying, my time is just as precious as yours.
Yeah, yeah,
You don't know what's going on in my life.
yeah, yeah.
Our opinions only. That's all I got.
And plans, you know. What did they say? They said that plans make God laugh, you know? Like we are in control of stuff. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
I'm done.
right. Yeah, right. Because we don't make the plans. God makes the plans. But anyway, thank you for joining the chat. That's just a little shorty that we brought in. But thank you so much for like, share, and subscribing.
See you
Bye-bye.
next time. Bye.